I don't know how I became the live-action remake defender in this situation, but the times must be a-changing, because I've come on here and told you that people are lying about Lilo and Stitch and that it's phenomenal. And now How to Train Your Dragon comes out and makes all this money, and people are still pissed. And I want to talk about why. So this isn't going to be like a shot-for-shot review of How to Train Your Dragon live action, but what I will say is I live with somebody who was very close to me, my best friend, whose favorite movie of all time is the original How to Train Your Dragon. And I took him to see this movie, and he absolutely adored it. He said it was amazing. He didn't think it was soulless. He loved every second of it. And the novelty of seeing these characters come to life, live action, worked on one of the most hardcore How to Train Your Dragon fans that I know. Now, I don't have the reverence for the first one that a lot of people have, but I watched all three original ones, and I do like them. I enjoy them a lot. And this live action How to Train Your Dragon movie I thought was phenomenal. And something that you don't want to admit if you love those original movies is there were things in the live action movie that played better live action than they did animated. And that might be to say that this live action version could be the superior version. I'm not going to go as far to say that yet, but I do think there are some things that happen in animation that do not have the emotional weight or pull that it would like to have until you do it in live action. And the complaints that, oh, what was the purpose of this movie, are driving me insane. We all know monetarily the live action movies, when done well, are going to help the studios a bunch. We know that this is a business. I went to film school, and I was taught the second that I got there, nobody cares about the story that you want to tell. The studio's main focus is making money. If you can Trojan horse your message into a commercial product, that's the best thing that you can do moving forward. And then when you become a Christopher Nolan, you can make whatever movie you want, and it'll be commercially successful, and you can tell the stories that you're going to tell. So without these movies, these studios would not be able to make more original movies. But for the people that are complaining that this was soulless, that this was purposeless, I ask you, what is the purpose of movies? What is the point of going to see a movie? I'm waiting. Put it in the comments. What's the point of going to watch a movie? What do you want the movie to do to you? You want the movie to affect you emotionally, right? To feel happy, sad, confused, scared, joyful. This movie is making people feel that way. Maybe it's not making you feel that way because you've already seen the story. But anyone that had an open mind going into How to Train Your Dragon, I think can easily admit that specific scenes that are supposed to be emotional in the animated movie play completely differently when you see a human, eyes welling up with tears, interacting with other human beings that are not animated. Two scenes, for example, stand out tremendously. The scene where he puts his sword down or his axe down, Hiccup, and he says, I'm not going to fight them. My heart was bursting out of my chest because I wasn't watching unrelatable animated versions of humanoid beings. I was watching human people interact and react to this epic moment. And the other moment that made me 100 times more emotional in the live action version of this movie than the animated version is when Hiccup finds out that he's missing a leg. Everything about that, and I don't know what that means about me as a human with my brain, but everything about those two scenes worked better with human beings playing the parts than live action counterparts playing the parts. Now, I've said this since day one, since Cinderella, since The Lion King. Not every movie is conditioned well for a live action remake. The Lion King, from a story perspective, from an animation to live action perspective, doesn't work because animals that look real cannot emote. But when you take a story, an underdog human story, about not being able to fit in, and you transition that to live action, you are going to have a hit on your hands. And sometimes I think it's okay for us to grow up and admit that some of these animated movies might have been better in the medium of live action. And if we have the opportunity to get the original writer-director of the animated movies and transition him into live action, how could you say to Dean DeBois' face that he's gutless and emotionless and soulless? It's quite literally the same guy who raised you on How to Train Your Dragon. He's taking a different approach, and he's making it, frankly, better. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're going to say, what's the point of this movie? What's the point of just rehashing and retreading? Every movie that you've ever seen is telling the same stories of love, of romance, of drama, of family, of togetherness, of revenge. Every movie you've seen has the same message. So if you want to say, well, what's the point of this movie? What's the point of The Materialist? Well, it's an original movie, sure, but we've seen rom-coms. We've seen rom-drops, okay? Celine Song should just give the $15 million that she used to make that movie and give it to a homeless person. What's the point? And I know what you're saying, well, we want to see original content. Just take this money that you use for How to Train Your Dragon and put into something new and fresh and original. And to the people that have said that, I ask you this question. Did you go see Pixar's Elio? Because it's out right now, and it's got an 85% Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience scores in the 90s. It's got fantastic reviews, and it's eating shit. You didn't go see it. I didn't go see it because it doesn't look like something that would interest me. And I'm a Pixar guy through and through. This camera that you're watching me on is being propped up by a VHS copy of Toy Story 2. But this movie, for whatever, the marketing didn't grab me. You know what did grab me? Seeing Toothless interact with human beings. Sorry, that's the way the world works. And if you're complaining about How to Train Your Dragon not being an original movie, and you didn't go see Elio, which has phenomenal reviews, what the hell are we talking about? I would go see How to Train Your Dragon live action. I think there are elements of that movie that are better live action than they are animated. And if you want to see your old pals do it again, and you want to be happy, if you want to feel joy in your life, you go see the movie. It's as simple as that. If you prefer the animated one, that's totally fine. But for people to come out here and say, and by the way, if you go see this live action movie, you're crazy. You should just go see the original. You're part of the problem, blah, 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 blah. Please go see Elio like 100 times and shut up. Because Elio's eating shit. And you're part of the problem. This is the part where I tell you I hope you enjoyed me yelling at you. Hit that like button. It helps a lot. Comment away. And please be sure to subscribe. It's free after no charge to you. I love you guys. And I'll see you next time.